Because imagine if your friend shoots a 300 and you shoot a 290, right? And you're like,
Hmm.
my 290 is crap because he shot a 300. But then when you think about it, wait a minute, my highest score to date was 285. So I'm actually 5 points higher and I have improved a tremendous amount. But most people look at their friend and go, well, he shot a 300, so I'm a joker, right? I'm a jerk. I suck at this and I really should quit because I'll never get good enough, right?
Hmm.
But in actuality, you have improved a very significant amount. So archery gave you a gift, right? And you're like, yeah, 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 thanks for the 290, but I'd rather it be a 300 and you throw it away. So you don't
Hmm.
get the confidence from that growth, right? You don't get the inspiration from the growth. You know how when you're doing something hard, like going to the gym and you see results, you're much more enthused about doing even more, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't see the growth, you're not enthused about doing more. So you don't train as hard, right? If you don't train as hard, you don't get better faster, right? So
Hmm.
it's the having your goals be self-actualized and you say, okay, my highest score to date is 290 and my general average is 287. So
Hmm.
if I have fun at this tournament and I relax and just shoot my bow and tell you what, let me make a goal of shooting my bow and being mistake free through the event. Let me just set a goal of going all the way through the event without making any silly mistakes, shooting the wrong target, struggling through a bad shot that you know is bad and you didn't let it down, uh, not paying attention to when it's your turn and miscuing, like all of those various little mistakes that everybody has to make, right? If you
Hmm.
can just get through the round mistake free, if you shoot every shot with presence and you're focusing on what you're doing and you just get through it mistake free, your score is going to be higher, right?
Hmm.
So make that your first goal. Let me just get through mistake free, right? Because being mistake free is something that you actually have control over, right? The score is not what you do. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
You don't do
More.
the score, you
Hmm.
shoot the shot, right? The gymnast does the tumble. The judges produce the score, right? In archery,
Okay.
archery is not a competition. It's a performance art, right? A
Hmm.
competition, they have to be trying to knock you down, distract you, bat your arrow down out of the air. They have to be able to reduce your points to some activity against you for it to be
Hmm.
competition. There has to be some strategy involved, right? There's
Hmm.
no strategy in archery. The strategy is hit tens. If you're behind, you need to hit tens. If you're ahead, you need to hit tens, right? There's
Yeah.
no strategy. So the performance of shooting a beautiful, clean shot is what it is that you do. The score isn't within your control. The score is based on how well you shoot the bow. So when people are, you know, overly fixated on where the arrow hits and they're looking at it with binoculars, all of that, they're not focusing on shooting their bow, right? So their
Hmm.
score is naturally going to be lower because their performance is going to have a spectrum of accuracy, right? Anywhere from crap to excellent. And that spectrum will be really wide because they're not paying attention.
Hmm.
But if you're paying attention to how you shoot, that spectrum closes down and becomes very consistent. And then you just turn the knobs on your sight until whatever you're doing hits in the middle, right? So for
Hmm.
your tournament tomorrow, be mistake free. That's one. And trust it, right? You've practiced up to this point. You know what your score is going to be because you know what your score always is right now, right? So
Hmm.
there's no unknown happening here. right? Most of the time we create unknown things, and that makes us nervous because we don't have control over the unknown. And a perceived lack of control causes you to run through all the possibilities, and your brain goes the whole time.